In this video, we will discuss a few tips on how to get used to the keyboard functions when using the manual count entry screen. We have another video that gives much more detailed information on how to upload CSV files or do the actual manual count entry itself. But some people find that using the keyboard to toggle through different fields in manual count entry can be a little tricky to get a hold of in the beginning. So I'll demonstrate those real quickly. In Data Operations, Manual Count Entry, you'll begin by clicking New Submission and entering a name for your new submission. Clicking OK. And then you will see that the keyboard shortcuts, which can be edited to suit you. We'll start with the tab will advance you to the next field, and the space bar will select a checkbox if it's that type of a field within a row. When you get to the very last column here, the options change a bit. The return key will save that row and finish. You won't be given a new row to work with. The tab button will save the first row and then give you another blank row. The arrow down will give you another blank row and copy the first with the site and dates, but change the direction. And then the right arrow key will copy the previous row, but change the date. So if we were to begin here, let's say I want to enter my first row here. I would type in a site. Say I'll pick from a list here. And while my cursor is still in this field here, I'm going to hit the tab key so that I can advance to the next field. I'm now having been advanced to, and you'll see, I've been advanced into the date field. So we'll pick a date here. And you'll see that because I picked a date from the calendar picker, my cursor is not in this field anymore. So I'm going to click inside here just so that you can see what the tab does here. So now you can see my cursor is in this field here. I'll hit tab. I'm not given an end date because I'm going to give that using my duration. So here you can see that the field direction field is highlighted. If you use the arrow keys here, you can select this way. Or if you click within the field with your mouse, you can choose in this way. I'm still in my field direction field, so I am going to hit the tab to get to the next field. That's the duration. And again, you can use arrow keys if you'd like, or you can use your mouse to select a duration. Tab will give you the collection of units. Tab again, you can enter your raw value. Here is a field that has a possibility of a spacebar checkbox. You can either use a mouse or you can use the space key. And then when you're in the final field, the keyboard functions change just a bit. If I'd like to simply save this entry and then proceed to submitting the batch or loading other things, I can, within this field, hit the Enter button. That within a moment will save this line I was on and assume that I'm finished entering manual counts. If you make a mistake, you didn't mean to hit enter, or maybe you come back into this batch after you save it, you leave for the day, you come back, double click to view this manual count you were working on, you'll be returned to this line here. You can see where my cursor was. I will come back to this note line, and if I wanted to get a new blank row, I can hit the tab. And in just a moment here, I'm given a little bit of copying from my first entry, but I was given a new row here. If I were in this note tab here and I wanted to copy the row changing directions, you'll recall that's arrow down. And now I have my site, my date, and all of that copied, although now I'm given the east direction. And then from this field, perhaps I wanted to copy this row but change the date. So that is the arrow right key. And now I'm given another row to work with that uses my site, the same direction as before, the same duration, but I'm given the next day. So because this was a 24-hour line here, I'm given the next day, which will be another 24 hours, and I could enter information here. And continue so on, entering all the fields that I'd like to do until I hit enter, indicating that I'm finished working within this grid. And that's the general idea of how to use the keyboard shortcuts.